Some of you have watched some of my videos about defending the position of certain parts of Chabad regarding Mashiach and the belief in Mashiach. And yes, there are people who still believe and do believe that the Rebbe is Mashiach. And they don't just get a chuckle out of it, they think that this is something sinister, something evil, something that we have to eradicate. And of course, I've been a voice to try to stop that, because it's not against the Torah to believe that somebody is the Mashiach, even if the person is deceased. Yerushalmi has it that the majority of the rabbis of that last generation of Yerushalmi Amoraim, the scholars of around the year 360, when they closed the yeshivas down, they believed that King David was the Messiah. That King David, although he had died, was going to be the Messiah. And by that time, King David had died for over 1,100 years, and yet the majority of the rabbis were waiting for him to come and announce, I am Mashiach, I've come to save you and rescue you from all your troubles. And if that's the case, so a few chassidim, a few hundred, a few thousand, don't make a difference the number. The Rebbe's been away from us for 28 years. It's not 1,100 years. There's nothing wrong with believing that a tzaddik that organized the greatest force for good in Klal Yisrael that we've ever seen, begrudgingly everybody acknowledges the value and the input of the Chabad movement and the Chabad houses. According to the Pew survey, 37% of the Jewish people in the world have their first awareness, and their major awareness, that they're Jews through a Chabad house. So the Rebbe caused that, and he made this storm and this movement and this ability to reach out to millions of Jews. So what? If he is the Mashiach or he's not the Mashiach, why does it bother you? Why does it bother you, Rabbi Mizrachi? Why do you take the time to attack Chabad? And there's a reason for it. And I want to address that reason. And if I'm wrong, Rabbi Mizrachi, tell us. Tell us that I've erred. A young man who lives in the Queens area, who's seen some of my videos, especially the ones that I've responded to Rabbi Mizrachi, told me the following, that his audience is primarily the Bucharian audience, people from Azerbaijan, people from that area of Georgia, the area of Uzbekistan, those areas where there are Jews, in the tens and maybe hundreds of thousands of them. And many of them have moved to Queens and other areas in the New York City area and other areas in the United States. These people are very traditional, but they lack a formal Jewish education. Because they never had it in those lands while they were under the Soviet boot, the communist pressure, for the most part, they did not have yeshivas or girls' schools. So these people are used to believing that tradition can come from the family. Tradition can come from the rabbi, from the chacham. And that's the area that Rabbi Mizrachi fills. He's the chacham. He's the one who teaches them what they're missing. But in the process, a lot of them believe, rightly or wrongly, that they need no formal Jewish education, that they don't need a yeshiva where they teach Kometz Aleph and that's false. Rav Mizrachi, the ball is in your hands. Tell the people who watch your videos that they must send their children to a day school, a school that we call a yeshiva, where they teach not just Breishis Bora Lakim that you could do on the internet, but they also teach Be'emas Aikordin as a Shema Be'arvin, the beginning of Mishnayos, where they learn also Chumash et Rashi, and they learn the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, or they learn the Ben Ish Chai, and they learn the words of the Talmud, of the Gemara, the words of Abaye Verove, the words of Ravina Ravashi, or Rav and Shmuel, or Rav Chisda and Rav Huna, or Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish. All of those great scholars that purportedly you've studied from, that's what they have to teach to their children. They should be as learned as Rabbi Mizrachi, maybe even more learned. That only happens if they go to yeshiva. And at this point, I'm told that that community feels it's sufficient to get their learning about the main points of Judaism from Rabbi Mizrachi without having to send their kids to a yeshiva. And that is a disaster. And that is false. So Rabbi Mizrachi, I'm calling you out. Somebody's accusing you of trying to substitute education, real education, for your videos, with your videos. It's wrong. Tell your followers that it's wrong. Get them to send the children to yeshiva. And I will definitely say thank you for teaching them the right thing.